Generative AI enables bad actors to create more sophisticated attacks. Anyone who has spent time online in 2023 has likely heard about ChatGPT and Google Bard, two of the more popular platforms that harness generative artificial intelligence, AI, to complete written commands. But like anything else, cybercriminals can take advantage of this technology as well. And unfortunately, they already have. Platforms including ChatGPT can be used to generate realistic and convincing phishing emails and dangerous malware, while tools like Deepface Lab can create sophisticated deepfake content including manipulated video and audio recordings. Security leaders have worried about the possibilities of AI-generated email attacks since ChatGPT was released, and we're starting to see those fears validated. The security firm Abnormal has recently stopped a number of attacks that contain language strongly suspected to be written by AI. Here are 3 real-life examples stopped for their customers, along with their analyses of how these attacks were deemed likely to be AI-generated. 1. AI-generated phishing attack impersonates Facebook. Users have long been taught to look for typos and grammatical errors in emails to understand whether it is an attack, but generative AI can create perfectly crafted phishing emails that look completely legitimate, making it nearly impossible for employees to decipher an attack from a real email. This email sent by Meta for Business states that the recipient's Facebook page has been found in violation of community standards and the page has been unpublished. To fix the issue, the recipient should click on the included link and file an appeal. Of course, that link actually leads to a phishing page where if the user were to input their credentials, attackers would immediately have access to their Facebook profile and associated Facebook page. In the entirety of the email there are no grammatical errors, and the text sounds nearly identical to the language expected from Meta for Business. The fact that this email is so well crafted makes it more difficult to detect by humans, who are more likely to click on the link than if it had been riddled with grammatical errors or typos. How to determine AI-generated text? The simplest way to detect whether an email was written by AI is to use AI. The security firm ran these email texts through several open-source large language models in the Abnormal platform to analyze how likely each word would be predicted given the context to the left. If the words in the email are consistently high likelihood, meaning each word is highly aligned with what an AI model would say, more so than in human text, then they classify the email as possibly written by AI. 2. Employee impersonated in AI-created payroll diversion scam. Unfortunately, use of generative AI to create malicious emails has moved beyond phishing and to business email compromise. While phishing emails contain a malicious link to aid in detection, these text-based emails lack those traditional indicators of compromise. In this real-world attack, an employee's account has been impersonated and the attacker has emailed the payroll department to update the direct deposit information on file. Again, the email is free of grammatical errors or typos, and is written very professionally, as the payroll specialist likely expects it to be. Other than the impersonated sender name, there is nothing here to indicate an attack, showcasing just how dangerous generative AI can be in the wrong hands. 3. AI-generated vendor compromise and invoice fraud. Vendor email compromise (VEC) attacks are among the most successful social engineering attacks because they exploit the trust that already exists in relationships between vendors and customers. And because discussions with vendors often involve issues around invoices and payments, it becomes harder to catch attacks that mimic these conversations, especially when there are no suspicious indicators of attack like typos. Similar to the 2 examples above, this email also shows no grammatical errors and is written in a tone that's expected from an attorney. The impersonated attorney is also from a real-life law firm, a detail that gives the email an even greater sense of legitimacy and makes it more likely to deceive its victim. As these examples show, generative AI will make it nearly impossible for the average employee to tell the difference between a legitimate email and a malicious one, which makes it more vital than ever to stop attacks before they reach the inbox. Unfortunately, as the technology continues to evolve, cybercrime will evolve with it, and both the volume and the sophistication of these attacks will continue to increase. Now more than ever, it's time to take a look at AI, both good and bad, and understand how good AI can stop the bad, before it's too late.